20th of Saturday. It's a pleasure having you aboard. Today we decided to have open discussion, just an open discussion, and we're going to be looking at the aspect of trust in a relationship. And we're very privileged hosting a good number of you. It's a pleasure. I'm Eli, Coach Eli Mtenga, Coach Eli Mtenga, and then host within the audience. I can see Charles, I can see Principal Charles, I can see Pastor Kagwa, I can see Sharon Pauline, I can see Ronnie Icon, I can see my brother Jeff Nelson, I can see Mary, I can see Gloria, Jeff Nelson. You remind me of the American president. The other one was who? The other guy was Jefferson something. Said Jefferson. The way he brought it in. Okay, it's a pleasure having you aboard. There is just something that we want us to discuss. We are fine. We are fine.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Destiny Hub. Destiny Hub, our slogan ever stands. Our slogan is what?
Every night.
Every night has a day. Destiny Hub.
Every night has a day.
Destiny Hub.
Every night has a day.
Yes, that's what we believe, that there are dark moments in life, and so never get scared, never freak out. Whenever you encounter those dark moments, challenges in life, in relationships, all those dark moments, they represent the night. There's no night without a day. The night only lasts, goes far, and then between the day breaks forth. So there's light hidden in every night. There's light hidden in every night. So never freak out when it gets dark. You say, I'm finished, I'm ripped off. No. Just know there is light coming forth. It's just a count of hours, a few hours. So basically, that's that. Now, I just wanted to bring an intriguing story that I just encountered through one of the counseling some time back. And I wanted to catch your views, everyone. And one of the, what happens, there was a couple, this is a lovely couple, they're in a home setting, you know, they're married to each other, they're happily married, and then they have about 3 kids. And this time around, the woman conceives, is expecting the 4th baby. And after conceiving, they usually do their, because of their routines, they usually do their shopping on Saturday, but they stay off up country, off town, and it's quite a distance. So when they go on Saturday, they shop everything. That means they're going to surface in town again Monday. They just can't cross over because they live a little bit far from town. So what happens? The man decides to, honey, let's go for shopping. So they went for shopping in town. The man withdrew the money. He said, what do you want? The woman made a list. So they shopped everything they wanted. They said, well, is there anything that we left out? No, nothing. We don't need any more money. That's okay. So after shopping, they came back home. When they came back home, like you know, the hormonal imbalance factor, the changes with the pregnant expecting mother. This is what happens. The woman just all of a sudden happens to crave for ice cream. And says, honey, I need some ice cream. And the man says, oh, honey, that's what I was asking you when we were in town. That is there anything else that you want? Right now, you know, it's quite a distance. We can't go back. And he says, I'll spend all the money. Can't you hang on a little bit? Maybe we'll see what we can do Monday when I go withdraw some money. Then the wife said, he chilled and said, it's okay, fine. I'll be okay. So the man says, let me go have a shower. The man had told the woman he doesn't have any money. So no ice cream. And the woman said, it's okay. I shopped with you, I can see you don't have money. Then all of a sudden the woman tells the husband, let me take a bath. So she goes in to take a bath, and the man is in the sitting room on his computer. Then right at the computer, he hears a knock. Oh, before the knock, sorry. When he's in the sitting room, he walks out of the sitting room, he goes in the garden to just do some weeding in the flower, fixing the flowers, you know, on the veranda outside. As he's fixing the garden, the flower, the compound, something happens. 3 guys were passing by, rushing, and they said, hey, um, Mr. Johnson, this is where you stay. He said, yeah. This is they are church members. Oh man, we are rushing. We are rushing somewhere. We are rushing somewhere, but it's a pleasure. We're rushing somewhere. It's a pleasure to realize that this is where you stay. Anyhow, what they did, they said, well, long time, but we're rushing somewhere. So he pulls out about 50,000. So he blesses the man and said, man, that's a fellow church member, but they're good friends. He says, man, your wife is giving back? Not yet. Don't worry. It's okay. Just your good friend, just have that 50K. We're rushing somewhere. So the woman is the other side inside the house taking a bath. This one is given 50,000. Puts in the pocket, he continues with it, fixing the flowers. The other guy goes away. And then after that, he gets back to the sitting room. Before you know it, some other ladies that were passing, also they were going on a mission to minister. And they also say, hey, Johnson, how are you? And then they say, oh, this way you say, okay, we are heading just on a mission for the gospel. It's to start about, he said, but there's still time. Why don't you pass by and have a bite? So these three ladies were ushered, but just to have a bite, because they are friends of the woman and also the man. They're, both couple, they're friends to these three ladies. So they walk in, and they're church members, fellow church members. So they walked into the house, they were ushered. And the man calls, honey, and the wife is still in the bathroom. Said, oh, I'm still in the shower. Then the husband said, okay, we have some guests. They wanted to say hello. He said, all right, I'll be right there. But she took some period of time. And the guests were running impatient. They said, you know what? It's okay. We can take something next time. We're rushing. We'll make time and then come back. Say, no. You can't just go like that. You step in my house for the very first time. You don't take no bite. Hang on. Then he pulls out the other 50K. Since the other is still in the shower, he calls the maid. Maid, run quickly, grab some 2-liter whatever soda, get some drinks, and get some cakes and stuff. Lisa, take a bite. So the maid rushes to purchase some stuff. He gets the stuff. By the time the woman came out of the shower and the bedroom, he found the table full, loaded, with the bread, with the cakes, with the water, with the sodas, and he said, okay, here, this. So what came to this woman is like, oh, this man lied to me that he doesn't have any money. Then where did the money come from? From heaven? So she greeted the visitors, say you're welcome here. Then he took, immediately when the visitors left, he took the man aside in the bedroom and said, now, Mr. Johnson, when I crave for the ice cream, there's no money. But when visitors, other women show up, me, I'm carrying your seed. I don't deserve to be bought an ice cream. Then the whole table goes, So basically, they're having drinks. Whatever bought all this stuff, couldn't afford to buy ice cream. Then the man tried to explain his story. Said, you know what? When I was fixing the whatever, somebody was passing by, and then just the woman saw it as lies. So he tried to explain himself enough he could make sense. Now the woman started to insinuate something like, okay, I think if there's something between you and one of these ladies, maybe they carry more value than me. They carry more value than me. You don't care about me. They show up like this. You just rush to appease them, but not me. So the woman started to pack up stuff. Said, I'm leaving you. I think I need a break in this relationship. What do you say about what's your take in this scenario? That's the scenario. The woman wants to pack and go. He can't believe money fell from heaven when other women showed up. But with her, she couldn't be supported. What do you think? What's your take, Mr. Aiko?
Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be part of the show, and actually, when I look deep into that story, I realized that as in relationship, there is need for both parties, that's the man and the woman, they got to be, you have to trust one another. You need to understand each other. Because when I look at the woman, because by the time such a scenario happens, you first have to look at has this man been behaving this kind of way, and because you cannot just come up and judge someone, yeah, because she ought to have taken time and first understand. Okay, you told me you didn't have money. Where did you get this money? Then you listen to someone explains to you, you know. After explaining, then you can say. But you don't just wake up and say, you didn't buy because you can imagine the man got the money from the first team that was going for the what? For the mission. So if she had taken time, good enough, she did a good thing. They went to the bedroom and was trying to narrate to show that kind of concern. But it's the fact that she didn't take time to understand or to listen to this gentleman. If she had taken time to understand, I'm very sure she would not even react the way she.
Women have a different perspective of looking at things.
Mm.
A very different perspective. So, in this regard, the woman was like, when you got the money, why didn't you narrate the good news to me?
Mm.
Why didn't you walk and say, oh, honey, you know what, something has happened. Then you go back to the field.
Very true.
And then now, the man took it easy, like, let me finish the what? The work first, I'll go at once. I'll give her the news. Then at the same time, a couple of minutes away, these ladies are passing by. And it's like, oh, you're going to mission? Yeah, no, come and say hello to your friend, my wife. And then because the lady is still busy in the shop. So, those scenarios there.
Yeah, I really get to understand the point. That one brings us back to trusting one another.
Mm.
Because if you trust one another, I don't know, I can go out and there's no that kind of, you're not thinking other things about me. It's all about trusting. How do we trust each other even when we're at home here? Because if you don't really trust me, even when we are together, and if I'm not open to you, meaning there is no trust there. Meaning even when I go out, still you're skeptical. You get the point. So all that comes from you have to trust one another.
Okay, let me put it this way.
Mm.
Sometimes we need to understand the exact factor, the hormone imbalance factor, especially when ladies are expecting, when they're carrying babies, the mood swings happens. There's that pendulum swing of their mood. And they also can't tell, the direction it's going to swing. So they find themselves irritable, moody, and they react anyhow. Now, the question is, many marriages have also suffered. Many marriages or husbands have suffered in there when a woman begins to play her drama, when it's just not her, but the hormones, and the hormones are raging, and the man just sees the behavior. There are lots of things that we hear. I had another story whereby the wife, when the woman was expecting, is at home and the husband goes, but when the husband is coming, the woman doesn't look at the husband. We have such scenarios. When he looks at the husband, he even throws up. She throws up, she vomits, and she just doesn't want to look at the man, But she's excited at the neighbor. When the neighbor is sloping down on the stairs, he said, wow, the woman is all over. She even positions herself and said, wow, are you going to work? What time are you coming back? She's very happy with the neighbor, but when the husband shows up, she throws up. So basically, there are situations like those. Then you find some of them, the scent of the neighbor of another man smells good. Maybe it could be even a maid, the houseboy, who is helping around at home. And he wants that boy to just sit there. She feels very comfortable. But when the husband comes in, she's doomed. So basically, there are those kind of scenarios happening in different marriages. And then you find that the man is hostile, he doesn't know how to react, what to expect. How do you handle such before we get back to the other scenario? Yes, Mr. Joe. Your name again, Joseph?
Job Nelson.
Joe Nelson. Okay. So, Mr. Joe Nelson, tell me, what would be your take in such scenarios? Men who are suffering, with the hormone imbalance factor in their territories, what would you advise?
Now, for such cases,
Would you handle such a thing if your wife is very excited at smelling your husband, your neighbors, whatever, and then you yourself, you're not wanted anymore?
all in all, one thing I know is that jealousness cannot fail to be there.
Yes.
However, we need to learn the behavior of our people for us to still stay in harmony with them. You take it because she's carrying your baby. There is no need of you maybe starting to think that maybe the baby is not mine or what. Oh, why is she like that?
Just the point I'm coming back to, Pascal.
Yeah.
This is your wife.
Exactly.
You're at home,
Mhm.
paying all the bills, taking care of her,
Right.
and then all of a sudden she changes. She keeps telling you, aren't you going to work? She wants to push you, she's disgusted of you.
Right.
When you come, she becomes peaceless, battered, and she loses balance. But when the neighbor is passing and says, oh, you open the window, say, welcome back. She wants to inhale the scent of the neighbor. And Pastor Kangwa, you are just there in the house.
Mhm.
Then when the neighbor happens to be walking out, she goes to the stairs and sits and smiles. Yes. Bye-bye. And then when she comes to you, she's hostile. How do you handle that?
This is me now.
Okay.
So, yeah, biblically, the Bible says that a man is the head of a family.
Okay.
Now, before I change my atmosphere or change my mind,
Yes.
I should know that this is a lady.
Okay.
One, her hormones are changing, and it's just a
It's just because I talked about the hormones. Would you even know? She won't declare that hormones are on me.
No.
No woman will declare. You just see the woman acting weirdly.
I know that.
No woman would declare that everyone just get aware my hormones are for labor. No, they hardly declare. It's just because- But I'm just saying, the woman has not declared anything.
Right.
You are in the house.
Yeah.
And drama is going on like that. He's excited at the neighbor's scent. Where every time the neighbor is walking out of the house, hi, where are you going? And when we said, can't you go and sit the other side outside?
Okay. Wait. Before I react, I have to see or to look for the genesis. Why this woman is behaving like this? I don't react there and then. But if it is a chronic disease that I'm seeing every day,
Every day.
I put her in counseling, and she doesn't change. And she doesn't take it. So if she continues that, I will change another thing. I said, please, I thought maybe this was just a one-day situation. But this is not a one-day scenario.
Yes.
I'm saying it is a recurring now. What is between you and the other? Is there any somebody that is bewitching us? When you look at me, I smell as if I'm a damn to you. What is taking place? So if I understand that it's not hormones like are changing her, maybe she's not pregnant, there I have to put on another face.
Okay.
Yeah, to show her that I'm the head of this family. You have to know. Another thing which I wanted to talk about. Never hurry to decide when you're hot temper, when you're temper. Because when you're in temper, you can change, you can decide something negative.
You can't do anything.
You can do something, and then you regret it at last.
Yeah.
So before I decide, I want to cool down first, and then I talk to her. What comes out from our discussion?
When you are trying to cool down, the neighbor is passing again. This woman is then walking out
And you're talking to her.
I
She moves
remember-
away
and she moves away.
to go and attend to the other
She
smell.
wants the other scent. She doesn't want to miss a drop of the other neighbor's scent.
Maybe I can put in another ingredient
Okay.
to call the other man,
You call the neighbor.
the neighbor.
Okay.
Please, Mr. Neighbor, I need you. There's some situations here.
At home happens.
Yeah, so we need you to come and then settle this matter.
And when the neighbor comes to settle the matter, the woman is extremely happy.
Or even
She
her.
goes very close because the scent, the scent is being far away. Now the scent is
It's closer.
closer.
Now, this is what I want to be helped
Yes.
by this neighbor. Say, Mr. Neighbor, you see,
Mm.
when you bypass every day there,
Yes.
this madam of mine
Mm.
says A, B, C, D.
Okay.
When you came in,
Mm.
because I wanted you to help us, see what she has done.
Mm.
What can you talk to her? Let him talk to her
Mm.
to help me. If I see that he has failed, there I will really change totally. I will really change totally. Because what I wanted, this man to come and help me, but he has also failed. But if we can talk to her in another way, she may change. Change, it doesn't come at once. It's by and by, it's gradual. So she will change. I have to cool down and then I wait for her to change.
The question is, isn't that risking your marriage when you call another man whom the woman is intoxicated with? The woman is obsessed with another man. She's under certain force, under certain influence, and then you draw closer that man again, and then you permit the man to talk in the light of and are you helping the situation or you're spicing it up again?
Okay, it might be looking that I'm spicing it again, but another way around, I want to help myself. I want to see that I create a situation whereby this wife she, could listen. She doesn't listen when I talk. She doesn't listen. But now, if this man, the one who is motivating her, if he can speak, he might speak as a counselor for her life.
For 9 months.
For 9 months, every day.
Every day.
Because the neighbor lives there. The neighbor lives there.
All right.
Is with you every day.
Mm.
This is not somebody far away, but every time it's in the vicinity within.
But now, you are Mr. Facilitator. You have already mentioned that this woman has she knows that she is pregnant. Does she know that she's pregnant?
Who?
This one, my wife.
Of course she knows.
All right. She has to be patient. I have to be patient. 9 months, that's my mere thing. I wait for her. I help her. That is because she's weak, and I'm the one who has made her to be weak. When she's not pregnant, she doesn't behave the way. So I can wait.
The question is, let me first hear from this side.
Okay, like he said, everything starts from the genesis. Like it's all about the genesis of everything. Like if you know that your lady didn't have such characters when she was still not pregnant, you have to think wisely and know that maybe there is something. But because I know in this life we are living, every day we hear people talking about, my lady now doesn't want me to leave home just because she's pregnant, You always hear about certain changes that happen in women's bodies when they are pregnant or carrying babies. And the other thing is, like, we always say that marriage is not for children, You have to be a man first for you to enter a relationship and you're committed, right? So this man has to be old enough to know that my lady is pregnant, that's why she's doing this. And he has to know that he has to be just patient until the other period elapses and see whether this situation is continuing or ending because of this certain situation. After all, even if this lady is trying to cheat on the husband, even when it is not the hormonal stuffs, still the man is supposed to wait for his lady to first give birth. You have to be calm enough in that situation. Even if the lady is seriously cheating on you or admiring a neighbor, it is well. Just take your time, wait for the lady to give birth, then you can conclude afterwards and see whether it was the pregnancy doing so or it was her herself doing so. because you can't make a
Let me
final
ask you,
decision
let me ask
and
something.
maybe start pregnancy.
Would you stand
Mm,
your husband
mm,
if he happens to catch up with a disease, mental illness, but that mental illness is not aggressive negatively against anyone in the house, but the mental illness makes him, whenever he sees the neighbor's, the neighbor's daughter, grown-up daughter, in the age of making a wife, but his phone is obsessed with that girl. But it doesn't beat you up, but whenever he sees the girl, it's like he throws comments, compliments, and whatever from morning to sunset. Would you just stand it and say, it's just the illness, I can understand?
Now, that is a different scenario. You first of all know whether this man is insane, like in reality, It doesn't just come from a night and you see him throwing comments and what, and you feel like, hey, this man is insane. But you have to first take your time and you see your man changing. Because even if this person is going to go insane, you realize, you see some signs before this person goes into that. So you have to take your time and know whether this man is seriously insane or pretending to do something. And sometimes this man can be testing you to see what you can do at the end of it all. So you have to be wise enough.
You were saying something?
Okay, the other thing, for me, what I can say about the scenarios, in this, all what we are looking at is trust.
Yeah.
Because in all scenarios, we see that without trust, you cannot handle anything. Because the first scenario, it is the trust between these two people that they have built that will help them resolve this. Because seeing someone, telling someone you're craving for something, then the person tells you he doesn't have money, then out of the blue, you find the table flowered with it. This after the man explaining to you, still it takes the trust. Because even when you're pregnant, sometimes these hormones are not there from the first day to the last day. They keep on changing. So sometimes you feel better. Then there is that time when it really comes out. Then even in the second scenario of the hormones, where the woman wants the neighbor. What I can advise, because sometimes when a woman wants something and it is during that period, it is until that woman does that thing that she feels better. So at first, maybe I would request the man, or maybe to buy the perfume of the neighbor, such that he also wears it and see the reaction from the woman. Maybe the dressing style, or maybe the other person could be putting on t-shirts and maybe you want t-shirts. So I could also adopt the dressing code and see whether it works.
Try it out.
Yeah. So if maybe, unless the woman wants the natural scent of the man,
Yes.
and of which that one I can't really hold. So even in the scenario of insanity, there, of course, if someone is insane, these people are bound to do things that are weird because they're not in full control of the brain faculties. So here I would just bear with him, and as he takes the treatment, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, so the whole thing is trust. If you trust that person, you can bear whichever situation.
Thank you so much. Kalkwa, would you take up the idea of either borrowing the shirts of the other man or following the design of the other man, the dressing code, or to calm down your wife?
No, I think that one might work, but percentage is very low.
Okay.
Why am I saying so? This scenario is on me. my wife, when she was pregnant, she, whenever I go out or going in town around, she could go on the bed and sleep.
Okay.
Sometimes I could come back and find her crying.
Yes.
So, what? I've been looking for you.
Yeah.
I said, wow, I'm back.
Yes.
And she's happy. She's even washing utensils around. I said, you've been sleeping and then these utensils are here unwashed. I said, you've been absent.
Okay.
I couldn't do anything. So,
What's the energy?
the presence of my presence made her feel.
That's a different scenario.
Now, onto this scenario, that putting on a cloth
For a fellow neighbor.
for a fellow neighbor, you are creating another enmity into the family.
Okay.
Because what if the other clothes of the other man, maybe borrowing his t-shirt because he needs that scent, when he's away, what would you do? The thing will continue erupting. So, what I'm saying, that again, I have to sensitize my wife and to learn her weakness. To know that when she has changed like this, I have to call her in this
Just a
way.
little bit. Charles, I'm still coming back here. Charles, we're having this discussion that the woman is craving, for your neighbor. She's pregnant, expecting, he's under the hormonal imbalance influence, and so you're not fun to her anymore. But whenever the neighbor comes back home, wow, life comes back. Life flows. And she runs to open the window, neighbor will come back.
Wow.
The neighbor comes back, the neighbor, and whenever the neighbor's passing by, he makes a comment to the neighbor, and then she enjoys the scent of the neighbor. But yet with you, she distances herself from you. You smell badly, you smell down, according to the situation now. How do you put up with that? What would be your reaction in that scenario?
I might be tempted to think that even the child she's carrying is for the neighbor.
It's from the Okay. What would be your reaction?
I don't know. I don't know. Let him first finish.
No, the man is listening. You keep thinking, I'm coming back to you to catch you. You're straight. Because this is a daily whatever. The woman is carrying this day for 9 months and she's reacting on a daily basis. And the thing is going haywire. The neighbor is becoming more of a pop star. And you are becoming something else. Now, let me first catch her in Mary's stand.
Yeah. Somebody talked of trust.
Yes.
Trust has to hang on something.
Mhm.
I see for me, if I were the woman,
Mm.
I would leave and go somewhere to cool down.
Okay.
Because as a lady, I have a craving for the neighbor,
Mhm.
and then my ice cream was not bought.
Hey.
Even after they bought all the table was black,
Yes.
my ice cream is missing.
Jesus is Lord.
Why is it missing?
Okay.
I see as if
The ice cream is sold in town. Here on the nearby shops, we can only find sodas and whatever, but the ice cream is never there.
But for me, I see the man
Mm.
is not having, doesn't have
He's hiding
priority of,
something. Of the wife.
Of you.
yes,
Of you.
his intentions are not prioritized.
Okay.
He's more on public opinion.
Okay.
How will the others see me? I'm a welcoming person. They can come to my home and eat.
Uh-huh.
But me, the wife who
Yes.
craves for the ice cream, I don't have the ice cream.
And yet you're
Why?
carrying this.
Why?
Why? So then, for me to cool down,
Yes.
because if we are married, everything you have to say, poor or whatever,
Mm.
I get myself back
Mm.
to look at myself, not in the house, but I go away from the house, cool
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Let the man also look at himself. We
Mm.
both need to know
You give yourself time.
ourselves. Yes.
Let me ask a
Because,
question.
yes.
It's not only because of ice cream.
Mm.
I also have a craving for the neighbor,
Nice.
which is not good for you.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
But you didn't bring the ice cream?
This is something who has been providing every day.
The man.
He. He's
Yeah.
been providing
He's
every
been
day.
providing.
Now for just this one time for the ice cream and you
It's
have
not,
put up.
it's not only the ice cream,
Mm.
the hormonal imbalance,
The smell.
It's raging.
which
You're
is
smelling down.
disturbing this marriage,
Yes.
both for the neighbor,
Uh-huh.
because the neighbor could be having also a wife,
Yes.
and then for us.
Is the neighbor providing the ice cream?
No,
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 the
but it's
same.
smelling good.
There are different
That's
scenarios.
different scenario.
I thought the neighbor
Okay.
was
Uh-huh.
going there.
So the highlight.
Now, and the other actor, I had forgotten to talk about that scenario of the ice cream.
Mm.
Now, this gentleman is also poor at communicating.
Okay.
From the very first time when he got the 50K,
Yes.
he would have come and told the wife. Yes, he
Gloria.
would have come and said, you know, hey, someone, this and this came
But
and
you're
gave
taking
you
a shower.
50K.
You're taking a
Yes, I'm
shower.
taking a shower. It
Yeah,
is
but I'm
well.
fixing the
At
flowers.
least this gentleman would be having an excuse that, you know what, I told you.
No, no, no.
And
but
the other
listen,
thing
he
is-
didn't see it coming. He's not an angel to see
Of
that,
course,
oh,
he didn't
some
see
weak
it coming,
ladies are
but he would
coming,
have
some weak ladies
communicated.
are coming, and then I'm gonna bump into this.
Now, Mr. Ed, think about this. What if, apart from even these visitors coming, what if the lady finds the 50K in your pocket as she's, you know, she's keeping your clothes and organizing them, and she finds the 50K in your pocket, yet you say you don't have money.
No, that's
What
another
will she
scenario.
do?
That's another story
Of course,
because
and it is the same thing, because you said you don't have money and you
know,
bought drinks.
Charles,
It is the same thing, you said you don't have money and she has found it in your
Charles,
pocket.
you missed
know?
a little bit. You know when you wait.
Now,
yes.
what this man would have done, he would have communicated from the very first time.
That I
It
got
would
the
be,
fee.
yes,
Okay,
it would be
wait a
good for
minute.
him.
When you're in the shower,
Yes.
and then someone brings me 50K,
Yes.
I should leave the flowers and then run to the shower and say, you know what? I've got someone has blessed me with the 50K, but I'm going back again to the flower.
Hey,
Be at home. Why don't I wait for you to finish as you take your bath?
hold
I'm
on.
fixing the flower, then I can come.
Him failing to communicate. By the time he got a maid to go and get the drinks, he would have tried something for the lady as well. Because now this
The
lady, actually, the lady, she's
When a lady-
possessed, you know.
Gloria,
Mm.
when a lady is craving for something, they're always particular.
Of course.
You don't just
And that's
mix
what I
things.
mean.
Can even
That's
bring
what
ice
I
cream and
would
drink
have
along.
tried.
I've heard of a
Go
lady,
for
I've
ice
heard of
cream
another lady,
anywhere.
I've heard of a lady in America, in Philadelphia, who at about 3 in the morning, you know, woke up the husband and he was craving for mukene, for this silver fish. You know,
Mm.
The
and it
night-
was, he could crave for funny things. Jovial, this green, the type of greens that you
Things
only
which are
found-
scarce.
which are scarce only found in Africa. And this is America. And so bring, and she goes haywire crazy. And the man is pushed out of the bedroom. You know, the joy is needed, and the man can't find the joy. The man calls you, we start calling us all over. Say, guys, we're not good. What do you think, sir? Where can we find mukena? Where can we find silver fish? And we are like, oh, you know what? Come hard down, and then maybe we can use DHL. Communicate back home. They put it on DHL. By the time it takes 3 days. By the time the silver fish arrives, she's on another channel.
She had made another
She's
show.
on another channel. This is useless. This thing's smelling bad.
I want mushrooms.
You know?
But now, you know, this lady is possessed. It is not her doing so. This man would have tried. Wasoboledde okugenda n'afuna soda w'abagenyi. He would have tried at least get a little ice cream from a
These
supermarket.
visitors are running. They're rushing. I just hijacked them. They're passing. They're in a hurry.
They're not
And I'm
even
like,
coming
no,
every
it's their
day.
first time
Yes.
in our house.
Mm.
I wanted them to have a bite before they proceed.
Mm.
My wife, I can explain later,
Yes.
since you're in the bathroom coming.
Yes,
They're in a
yes.
hurry. I'm the one who said, no, you
But you
can't.
people are talking that just because you're not pregnant. But a lady who is pregnant, she can't listen, actually. She can't listen, she just prioritizes what she wants.
Exactly.
Because it's not
This
her
is
making
what
it.
she was saying. This is
Yes.
what Ned was saying that no, with her, I appreciate her whatever because she was saying that no. How can you not fight her to provide an ice cream and you take care of these other
She's
visitors?
talking the truth.
And
The
then
pregnant.
from there, when I crave for the neighbor, you go crazy. So he said he excuses herself and then leaves the home, you know, takes a break. Charles, a little bit, how do you handle that situation? She said she can leave the home. This one is saying, you as the husband, you're meant to understand and bear with her when she's craving for the neighbor, the set and forth. Looking at the neighbor, you know she's obsessed, you must be calm and patient with her since you didn't provide the ice cream. How do you?
Let me first get something straight.
Yes.
When the visitors came, no?
Mm.
This gentleman used the 50K to buy the drinks.
No,
Yes.
the thing is, the lady wanted ice cream, but the man didn't have money. And the lady said, I understand, it's okay. Then the lady went for the shower. Then the man sneaks out to fix the garden, the flowers and forth. Then as he's outside the gate, then another man was passing by. You know, he's a friend, all time friends. This way you stay. He said, man, I'm rushing. We have some business the other side, but anyway, just get a 50K. He puts a 50K on him. The wife is in the shower. This man catches the 50K. This one proceeds. Then the man's like, okay, let me first finish up in the garden. Later on, I'll tell my wife what happened. Then as he fixes the garden, some 3 pretty ladies, the models, they are passing by, but they're church mates and they're typical friends of the couple. Then they're like, but man, this way you stay. Said, you guys, where you guys? I'm heading the other side, there's a mission. Said, no, come and say hello to my wife. And then when they get in the house, they're again in a hurry. She's taking her time in the bath. He said, we're in a hurry. So if you're in a hurry, then you can't just go like that. You need to take a bite. You know, the African way of welcoming visitors. So it's like, maid, come. Mommy's still bathing. Just rush and purchase something there. Then they bring the cakes, bring whatever, the 2-liter sodas, bottles. So the wife comes out of the bathroom and he finds the table is flowered with too much, minus an ice cream. Remember, ice cream is not in that facility, it's in town way the other side. So the man explains himself. Now, Gloria says, the man made an error. He should have, by the time he got the 50, he would have rushed to the bathroom. He said, honey, this is accountability. Someone just give me some money here. Then he went back.
She's too much also.
How do you handle that? Now, the wife wants to kind of boycott, wants to take a break.
Me personally, I would let her to first take the break.
Okay,
Let her first
go cool herself.
cool herself.
Okay. But taking a break, won't it open the door for mischief?
For the neighbor.
For who?
For the neighbor.
Mischief for who?
For the man. The man may be, because remember these ladies, you frustrated this man, you are implicating that he's in love with one of them. That's why he flowered what? The table. Now you're taking a break. He's saying, if you're boiling, go home, take a break. But you taking a break and the man is left in this situation implicated. Won't he be tempted to encroach on one of these ladies?
Or any other lady.
Or any other lady in the vicinity?
Yeah, but that is his problem. It is
Okay.
not mine
Okay.
to solve his problems. You know, if he feels that is the just thing to do it,
Yes.
fine.
Uh-huh.
But me, I have to cool myself
Okay.
with my whatever craving for the other man.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
He has to do his part.
Let
and I
me,
do mine.
what if, another scenario here, I'm thinking, what if this woman says, I won't take a break, because he remembers there's a neighbor he's going to miss, that's sailed. And he says, I'm not going nowhere, but we separate in the bedroom. I'll
Does
be
the
in
man
sitting room.
know that the lady so much likes the neighbor's sin?
Which man? The husband?
The husband.
He does it open once the husband is coming home, the man runs out the window and opens, says, hi neighbor, welcome back. And then from there, wow. Yes.
What we are talking about, it's family. It's a home. Previously, if you can echo back, how does the family begin? How do you choose right relationships? Right relationships doesn't begin with human. Right relationship begins with God. According to what I'm seeing at this woman, it seems she's running berserk now. Things are becoming out of my hands. Everything as it began with God. As a man, I am requested, exactly, my mind should focus on God first. As this woman is trying to show up differently, how can you cry for the scent of her neighbor? Jesus. And this ice cream, I told you that this ice cream, I can buy it anything.
Mr. Bagua, let me cut you short. Let me tell you, you must respect nature. This is nature here raging.
Yes.
It's not about whatever you're talking about. This is nature. This is hormonal imbalance factor. This is a reality. It's a biological change happening. You can't block it. You can't fight it. It has come. It's happening. It's happening. But it's happening with the neighbor. The woman is celebrating the neighbor. He even begins to wonder. He said, I don't know what happened. The neighbor's taking time. I don't know what happened at work. You know, when the neighbor takes long, it's like it's getting dark and the neighbor is not coming
That's
home.
the sign of adultery.
No. How do you react to that?
Now let me throw this.
Wait a minute, Charles. Your wife was there watching news and is coming to 7, but her eyes are in the window. She's not settled.
Hey.
She's worried of the neighbor.
More
You
than
came
you.
back home and
Alex,
she just didn't pay attention.
Things don't just happen.
Okay.
eh?
There must be something.
Those feelings of attraction,
Mm.
they don't just happen.
Okay.
eh? There must be something. Maybe something which had happened earlier.
Okay.
eh? And maybe they were together some time back, and when she became pregnant, not with the neighbor, but when she became pregnant, she started recalling those moments when they were together with the neighbor. And they recalling how I don't believe
So
things
you
just
don't-
happen.
You don't feel it's an innocent situation.
I don't
You don't buy it.
I don't buy that.
But me,
Yes.
there is no one who can do such kind of, if this lady is
In
going
front
to
of the
cheat,
husband,
yes, she has to do it
Smartly.
smartly, But you can realize that this lady
No
is out
normal
of her
woman can
control.
cheat and act.
A
in front of the
normal
husband.
woman
Yes.
has to make sure that the husband doesn't know anything,
Anything.
and the neighbor is also, getting everything he
Mm.
deserves,
Mm.
just because right now she feels the neighbor is the best.
Is the
But
king.
she still has that in mind that she's married to this man. So she can't be in this man's house and she's like, oh, the neighbor is delaying. Then what's that? Just come to realize that this lady is just not controlling herself. She's out of her own control.
Yes.
There is something controlling her.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mm.
Actually, for me, I think this kind of topics, this kind of topics we are talking about, these are things that happen in life, and it does not happen to one person. I've seen it. There are certainly, I saw a certain lady. Whenever she wants to eat food, she wants to eat food near the neighbor's toilet.
Yes.
So you ask yourself, what is
What is
in there?
causing it?
So me, I believe that the most important thing is, as a man, you need also to be someone. I was talking about understanding, and because this is something that has not been there before. You should actually understand that this has come. It has come because of this kind of hormones, So it will take after time, things will go back to normal. If actually I know that this person has not been like this, then I shouldn't really think otherwise. Maybe so and so. But the best thing, what I would really suggest is that if you see such thing is going more and more worse, like I will talk about her going away. You can involve in maybe the mom, you share something, the reason why we have these parents, they're always there to guide us. Sometimes you may not finish something by yourself. That's why people run to pastors, they run to counselors, such a kind of scenario. Because you reach somewhere whereby you cannot stomach it anymore. So me, I believe that it's better maybe if you can, involve a chat, a discussion with the parents, maybe the mom. She can be there for some time. That's why some ladies, they go to their parents and this. Then having this kind of, that is adultery. I think if you still, how do you start telling that you have a smell for your husband? It can happen, but you have to get a solution for that. If she goes there, as I'm taking care, because it's not a matter of her going there, just a minute. Going there is not enough. But much as she has been giving you hard time, she wants ice cream, you have also to keep in touch with her and keep taking care. She'll give birth, eventually she'll get back to that. Thank you.
Welcome. The illustration, what I want you to understand is, you are thinking this way, that you wish the woman, maybe if the situation is escalating, going crazy, the woman can take some time off and go be with her parents. But at the same time, the woman is saying, well, when he calls the mother, and the mother's like, I think you need to go home and stay at home, and then you chill a little bit. And the woman is like, no, I'll miss the neighbor. Because he's attracted, he's pulled with that scent. There is magic with that scent, neighbor's scent. And the woman just doesn't want to walk away from that scent. That's the craving. She smells that scent, the whole world is sorted.
If I buy that perfume,
It's a natural scent, not the perfume.
So that the husband smell has a he good smell.
The husband is totally down. It's just he got all something else. It's a natural scent that is attracted to, not a perfume.
Then, basically, when I add that.
The only thing maybe that could save the situation, just for his information,
Okay.
is maybe to borrow the clothes of the neighbor. If you can stand that, to borrow.
What I see is that this man should just be calm, because this lady won't be in such a scenario for 9 months.
Yes.
That's never there. It sometimes changes,
So who can take it on?
but they are not in most
Yes.
cases.
Yes, there are women,
Mm,
because I was saying it with my auntie.
mm,
She never liked the husband,
mm.
and whenever the husband could
Show
come,
that.
she could
Proud.
never even want to look at the man. So the man could serve himself, do everything for himself when she's sleeping, because she doesn't want to see him. Then in the morning, before she wakes up, the man has to go very early.
Very early before she's in
And this lasted for the
for
whole.
the whole 9
Yeah,
months.
even if it is 9 months, you don't have actually to react weirdly to this lady, because it is going to damage her, even your marriage. Because she will feel, at this moment she feels you're not thinking about her. She's like a baby actually. She wants whatever whenever she's asking for something, please provide. Whenever she feels like hugging you, please be there. But you can really understand that 9 months is not a lifetime, You can become enough and be patient with her.
Are those two hearing that?
Yes, they should
Can you
hear
stand
that.
after 9 months? This is not forever. Can you bear with this woman?
I would prefer to take a break.
You walk
Then
away.
what if, then the
And leave
lady
the
doesn't
neighbor.
want to leave the neighbor.
And the neighbor is
The lady
I'll have my
goes
German
say to-
Shepherd dog there.
Coordinator, Joe was on it.
Yes, just please, just.
Personally, I wanted to supplement on her
On
issue
her-
of communication.
Yes.
You see, the gentleman got the money.
Mm.
He was still doing his flowers,
Mm.
which is okay.
Yes.
Then these ladies came in. He tried calling her, and she replied that she was in the shower.
Yes.
So he wanted to do as a man,
Mm.
which is okay.
Mm.
But one thing I believe is that women sometimes help us to make better plans. So what I feel like this man should have done, that as he was thinking of that, he would have moved next to the shower rooms and he's like,
Yeah.
my lady, you know what? As they are doing flowers, someone came, gave me the money. And as I was still doing the flowers, these friends of ours have come and they have never come home. We cannot let them go. Because one thing we believe is that when we get visitors, we cannot let them just go without having something. Because we feel like it is a blessing in a home.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
this man took it, when you're innocent, you would hardly think of certain things. Unless you're hiding something, that's when you say, oh, I need to give him some accountability, I need to cover up this, I need to tell her this. But when you are free, you're a free person, you're hiding nothing. So this is your wife, is your companion,
Yeah.
you've not committed a crime, so you talk to her at a given time. Visitors are coming, let me finish the flowers, then you come. But whenever you see someone rushing so much with accountability on every little nitty-gritties, then you just he's hiding up something, or he's, but when you are free, you just yes.
It is true, but in most cases, you need to discuss issues.
We are not talking about the man telling after 3 days or the next day, but he knows these are visitors, they're in a rush, you're still in the bathroom.
Just a few hours.
Just not even hours.
I think also it covers also the personalities. Because now these people that have been together, they have been married. It means that this man knows the woman very well, and even the woman knows the husband. So even before this, because even I think even this pregnancy was not for 1 month. So she has been doing some things a little bit. So meaning, this man already knew that maybe this woman likes accountability. So at all costs, whether you're doing something, maybe you had to report, knowing that there's a kind of the wife.
Yeah, but the speed at which you report also matters. This one Johnson saying the man immediately you get the 50K, run to the bathroom door.
I'm not saying
really.
mandated, right?
Something has come in. Or immediately you're serving the visitors, run quickly before she comes out with whatever and give up. The thing is, we're at home. Why the rush? I'll tell you, I'll talk to you. Let the visitors go, we'll discuss, and I expect you to understand.
But I feel
But by
like
the way, another thing, you must know that pregnancies differ. A woman can give birth, but each pregnancy has its own behaviors. So sometimes the man may not necessarily know that, okay, whenever she's pregnant, these are the whatever the nitty-gritties are. You know, there's a pendulum swing with each pregnancy, with the separate behaviors. Now, if there's, in that pool of behavioral changes, the scenario here, which is tough, you know, is the woman saying, I can't go home because she doesn't want. The man is saying, you said you tell her to go stay with her parents, take a break. The woman doesn't want to mix the neighbor's scent. He doesn't want to mix the neighbor's scents. So basically, in that situation, Charles said he will excuse himself and go away. Do you know what it means? Walking away from the territory.
No. Anyway, I meant the wife. Yeah.
I know, she can't go, she doesn't want to mix the neighbor's scent.
The neighbor. Very important.
Then the man should get counseling for this situation.
Okay.
In order to stay,
Okay.
he needs counseling.
So you can put up
Yes.
with patience, you enjoy the neighbor's scent,
Yes.
and she puts up, he waits for the 9 months.
Yes.
But again, the neighbor is
Mr.
not to overreact.
Yes,
This wife of mine,
yes,
she's behaving the way how she's behaving.
yes.
But I have to be sensitive enough as a man to know the situation where she is. Because this is not it's not a opportunity thing. To be called a wife doesn't mean that I brought her yesterday. She has been here with me at least a year or some months, and then I impregnated her. Now, being that now she's pregnant, I love her. You know, the Bible says love covers. It doesn't mean that other things will be separated, not covered. Love covers all. Now, even that one, love will cover it. Let me cover it for the 9 months, and then I see what will come.
Will you be patient each time she's in the window in the evening looking up to the neighbor?
In those 9 months.
Yes, for the
After she gives the birth, I bring her. Say, Mama, look, in the 9 months, you said you did A, B, C, D, and it was really haunting me. But I really
Tell me now.
persisted. What was wrong with you? Tell me. Nowadays, since you gave birth, you no longer cry for the sake of the man. Now,
You're praying for your
Okay.
friend now.
Will you understand, will you at heart let the neighbor free?
yeah, that's because it's on me.
Okay.
I can't throw it to anybody. The ball I have to hold it myself. I will persist. I say, let me hold this. Let them talk as I'm waiting for this 9 months to elapse.
What feeling do you get?
It is really hard.
What I'm saying, you know, your lady is always praying for the neighbor's scent.
Yes.
Because
And it's building day by day.
for her to pick it, the neighbor has got to be very near. How do you take it to always be seeing that neighbor with?
You know, as I mentioned earlier, that this neighbor, if he doesn't help me, I'll have to go that way to persist until the 9 months elapse. But if neighbor comes and talk to her and counsel her, I think I'll get relieved.
All right, let's leave. The whole thing is let me first wind up here. Nelly, if the man goes crazy, and of course you are not yourself, you know, you are not in your, you are in another mood swing, you're not yourself. You can act anyhow, just like you can't control a mad person when he's acting out of his whatever, when he's out of his senses. So basically, the situation is, let me wind up here. You gave your reaction, but if your king and your husband is having a mental illness, and it was confirmed by the doctor that he's having, you know, illusions, having this and that. Now, if that husband of yours in that situation, but it's crazy after the neighbor who whatever, you know, come down with the neighbor, the neighbor, how do you handle that? Knowing that it's not normal, he's having a neighbor, whatever. How do you react? Okay. Well, it's going beyond the boundary. I don't think there's a doctor who can define that. Because
Is it madness or just
no, not madness. There is this much, you know, madness has degree. A different degree.
It is madness.
But there's a
Then that
mental,
one is
there's a
psychiatric
mental,
doctor.
there's a mental illness, there's a mental reaction,
He's always calling for the
which is minor, gentle, it doesn't throw stones, it doesn't yell, but you can find someone just talking to himself, you know, you know, and then, but now this one, he walks out, so it's the phone of the neighbor's daughter. The neighbor is in about 25. Yes. No, the neighbor, no, the daughter. No, of course. Hey, the neighbor is responding, but she was told that the man has some problem, but the way the man talks to her, she has waited all along. The normal men are not talking to her that way. And she's perhaps also enjoying that whatever. Yes, the man, you know, yes, he compliments, you know, because if the man talks to the lady, like, wow, I like the way you move your feet. And the way you turn, the way you walk, they create a certain time of you. No one will respond, leave me alone. No. She will smile back. She walks away, not with the man, with the man, whatever, but she enjoys the whatever. The compliment is gentle, it's magical, but she can't, you know, but she smiles. There's no response. How do you feel?
Because that kind of reaction is better also for his mental health. So I think a lot of understanding the you know, the understanding.
Everybody back here. Matthew will go with the 30 degree. So, if gentleman is mad, should measure that how mad are you? If you are the same level of the man, you end up fighting. So now this guy, when I look at God, I look at my husband, he's very much I have to cool down my madness, such that they can get a near what?
How do you put up with that? Your wife, your woman, and your husband is full whatever, and the lady is responding back with a smile. She comes around the window and she winks back, the man, and you know, how do you put it?
Okay. I'll take words of understanding. I have learned my wife. My wife is this is the character to be.
do, I have to find it. So for that case, all I know is that everything has a solution. So once I realized that actually time is very important, time and is not welcome to me, I find a solution. Then it's okay.
Will you get peace? Will you get
I want to be at peace. Now to get my own peace, what I can do is that to avoid having in my ear, like seeing happening.
So whenever you start having with the neighbor, you walk to the bedroom.
I can be like in the bedroom, or I
You
can
walk away, you give them time to express themselves fully to the maximum, then you walk in the bedroom.
I can do something like that. To have my
Or
own
avoid,
Yes.
you can put up with what you don't see, rather than.
Yes,
staying there and then-
I feel like I don't see.
Why don't I talk to this man? Which, the neighbor? I said,
Maybe this is. I kindly request you.